Have you ever heard of the saying, crime doesn't pay? Well, for one man, crime wasn't just a spontaneous act, it was a science. Today, we're diving into the incredible story of Herman Baron Lamb, the man who literally wrote the book on bank robbing. He was the father of the modern heist, the German genius who turned bank robbery into a military-style operation. Herman Lamb was born in Germany in 1890. He served in the German army before being discharged, some say dishonorably. Like many others, he sought a new life in America, arriving in 1914. But Lamb wasn't interested in the American dream in the traditional sense. He saw a land of opportunity, but his opportunities were locked away in bank vaults. In the early 20th century, bank robbing was a messy, often chaotic affair. Gangs would rush in, guns blazing, grab what they could, and hope for the best. It was high risk and often low reward. Lamb, with his military background, looked at this and thought, there has to be a better way. He believed robbery could be precise, efficient, and almost foolproof. So, he started studying. Not books on crime, but the banks themselves. He'd spend hours, even days, just watching a target. He'd pose as a journalist or a researcher to get inside, mapping out the interior layout, noting the position of safes, teller windows, and alarm systems. He timed the movements of guards and staff, figuring out the bank's daily rhythm down to the minute. He was like a director planning a blockbuster movie, except his set was a real bank and the actors were armed robbers. This meticulous planning led to what became known as the Lamb technique. It was a system, a blueprint for the perfect heist. Lamb broke the robbery down into 4 key roles: the lookout, the getaway driver, the lobby man, and the vault man. Each person had a specific job and knew it inside and out. No confusion, no hesitation. The lookout was the eyes and ears, stationed outside to watch for police. The getaway driver was crucial. Lamb insisted on using the fastest cars available and meticulously planned escape routes, even practicing them at high speeds. He mapped out primary routes, secondary routes, and even tertiary routes, complete with locations to switch cars or hide. Inside, the lobby man controlled the staff and customers with calm authority, while the vault man, a specialist, worked on cracking the safe. Lamb's crew rehearsed these roles over and over again in rented hideouts, using full-scale mock-ups of the bank floor. They ran drills, timing themselves with stopwatches. Lamb wanted every movement to be second nature. He demanded military precision, and his crew, a mix of seasoned criminals, became a well-oiled machine. For nearly a decade, Lamb and his gang were unstoppable. They cut a path across America, from Utah to Illinois to Wisconsin, hitting bank after bank with stunning success. They'd appear, execute the plan flawlessly, and vanish, leaving local police completely baffled. They were ghosts. It's estimated that Lamb's gang stole over $1 million during their run, which is equivalent to more than $15 million today. He was a legend in the criminal underworld, earning the nickname the Baron for his sophisticated, almost aristocratic approach to crime. His system was so effective that it became the gold standard. Other famous bank robbers of the era, including the notorious John Dillinger, studied and adopted the Lamb technique. Dillinger's own mentor, a man named Harry Pierpont, was a former member of Lamb's gang. So, when you think of the classic 1930s bank heist, you're really seeing the legacy of Herman Lamb. He was the architect. But as the old saying goes, all good things must come to an end. Lamb's luck and his meticulous planning finally ran out on December 16, 1930, in Clinton, Indiana. The gang targeted the Citizens State Bank. The heist started as planned, a textbook Lamb operation. They entered, controlled the scene, and got the money. But this time, something went wrong. A local resident, a former sheriff armed with a shotgun, spotted the getaway car and took action. As the gang tried to escape, their meticulously chosen Buick sedan blew a tire. This single, unforeseen event shattered Lamb's perfect plan. The getaway driver lost control and crashed the car into a ditch. Forced to improvise, Lamb and his crew scrambled. They tried to commandeer another vehicle, but its owner had taken the keys. Panic began to set in. A massive posse of police and armed citizens, numbering over 200 people, quickly descended on them. A running gun battle erupted. For the first time, Lamb was out of control, his system broken by pure chance. The man who planned for every contingency found himself trapped, cornered in a barn near Seattle, Illinois, and severely wounded. Herman Lamb faced a choice: capture or death. The man who had lived his life by a strict, self-imposed code decided he would not be taken alive. He used the last bullet in his pistol on himself. The architect of the modern bank heist met his end not in a blaze of glory, but in a desperate, failed escape. The story of Herman Baron Lamb is a fascinating look at the mind of a criminal genius. He wasn't just a thug, he was an innovator. He applied logic, strategy, and discipline to a field defined by chaos. He transformed bank robbery from a brute force gamble into a calculated science. But his story is also a cautionary tale. It shows that no matter how perfect the plan, there are always variables you can't control: a blown tire, a brave citizen, a bit of bad luck. In the end, the system he so carefully built couldn't save him from a single, random event. Thank you for watching. If you found this story as fascinating as I did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into incredible moments in history. See you next time.